And that's why some scholars before now, in some of the commentary of some of the hadiths that we have actually read before, some of them will even say that فضل العلم خير من فضل العبادة. The excellence or extra knowledge is better than extra worship. And some will say, like Imam al-Shafi'i, when he was asked regarding when he says ليس بعد أداء الفرائض شيء أفضل من طلب العلم, they asked him ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله. When he said after performance of obligations, there is nothing better than seeking for knowledge. Then someone asked him, not even jihad for the sake of Allah? He replied, not even jihad for the sake of Allah. So it means anyone who goes out in search for knowledge is permanently in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until he returns. Don't you want to be a righteous servant of Allah, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the best favor, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honors more than anyone? If you want that, then you should always struggle to seek for more and more knowledge of the understanding of the deen, and which we said is the basis or the foundation of salvation. Like Sheikh Dr. Abdul Azim Al-Badawi says, the foundation of success and salvation لا يحصل للعبد, can never be achieved by any human إلا بصحة التوحيد وسلامة من شوائب الشرك, except by correcting his belief in Tawheed and making whatever he does devoid of any form of associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these cannot be achieved except through knowledge and the right understanding. Therefore, if you don't have this, you don't have that foundation for salvation and success in Islam as a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But why are we more concerned about the dunya when we have a lot of people around us going? A sister yesterday lost one of her sisters. When we were here, she was alive. But before the evening, she is gone. We are going to go. Why should you prefer or give preference to the life that is temporary against the life that is permanent? Build your relationship with Allah so that you get salvation. And you can't build your relationship with Allah except based on knowledge and understanding. Knowledge and application of the deen. Nothing is more valuable than it. And that was why there was nothing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet to seek more of it than what? Than asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase him in knowledge. Increase in knowledge. Increase in knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and protect us. So in essence, as you, for example, come out with sincere intention, increase your knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are in the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But purify your intention to be in that fold. And let it be a permanent thing. Let it be consistent. Even after Ramadan, make it consistent. If it means gathering yourself and say, Malam, we are here. You go in search for knowledge. It is not the knowledge that will actually come in search for you. You go in search for that knowledge. The knowledge will never search for you. You will be the one to search for the knowledge. And don't wait until you have the time. Some people say, okay, I don't have time now. Create the time for it. Pursue it. Anybody who is waiting for time to provide itself for him for knowledge will wait till eternity. And anyone who is waiting for knowledge to pursue him or her will wait till eternity to have that knowledge, to obtain that knowledge. You must pursue the knowledge. You must create the time. If you go to universities and schools, you are the one sometimes that will beg the teacher. SubhanAllah, some will even gather money and buy gifts so that they can draw the attention of the teacher so that he can actually teach them. We've been to such institutions, we've seen it. But when it comes to that of Allah, which will give you success and salvation on permanent basis, you treat it with triviality. You treat it as if it's nothing. A sister, like I said, passed away yesterday. And we're all going to pass away. We're all going to pass away. We're all going to be taken and left alone in our graves. And what will follow us to that our grave are the knowledge that we sincerely sought for the sake of Allah and the application of that knowledge that actually transform into good deeds. Those are the things that will follow us. Our jewelries will not go with us. Our clothing will not go with us. Our cosmetics will not go with us. What will go with us is the knowledge that we have acquired sincerely for the sake of Allah, and the deed or the actions emanating from that knowledge. If the knowledge is not applied, it becomes a burden, it becomes a source of punishment. And refusing to seek for that knowledge is disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In whatever way you think about or around knowledge, it is very, very dangerous and risky. And that's why you must treat it well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. On this note, because today is Friday, we are ending the sitting of the day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it beneficial to all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us through this sitting. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectify our fears, rectify our homes. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our children to the right path, guide our grandchildren to the right path, generation after generation. May they become source of good deeds for us, even as we will actually be in the grave. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. We know what the situation, the condition in the country. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for His servants. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for His servants. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the right path, the path of those whom He has favored, not the path of those who are in His anger and those that have gone astray. The sister that we had has passed on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive her. May Allah have mercy upon her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala eliminate her grave. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us dying in the state of submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in iman with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.